Did you ever wonder if plants have best friends? Welcome to the fascinating world of companion planting. This is an age-old gardening method that pairs plants together for mutual benefit. Think of it as the ultimate matchmaking service for your garden. Companion planting is beneficial for a host of reasons. It can deter pests, attract beneficial insects, improve soil health, and even enhance the flavor of your fruits and vegetables. It's a natural, chemical-free way to boost your garden's productivity and health, all while promoting biodiversity. But how does it work, you ask? It's quite simple. Certain plants, when grown together, can support each other in various ways. Some plants can deter pests that would otherwise harm their companions. Others can enrich the soil with essential nutrients that their plant partners need to thrive. There are also plants that provide physical support for their companions, acting as natural trellises. Take, for example, the classic companionship of corn and beans. The corn provides tall stalks for the beans to climb, reducing the need for additional support. The beans in return fix nitrogen in the soil, which benefits the corn. It's a win-win situation. There's a whole world of plant pairings to explore. From the famous Three Sisters method practiced by Native Americans, corn, beans, and squash, to the surprising companionship between tomatoes and basil, each pairing has unique benefits that can help your garden flourish. Now, before you rush to your garden to start pairing your plants, remember that not all plants make good companions. Some plants can actually hinder each other's growth or attract pests. That's why it's crucial to do a bit of research before you start. Now that you have a basic understanding of companion planting, let's explore some famous plant friendships. From the classic to the unexpected, these plant pairings will open your eyes to the power and potential of companion planting. So, are you ready to make your garden a place of harmony and mutual support? Let's dive in. Certain plant pairs are so iconic that they've become gardening folklore. Let's uncover some of these dynamic duos. First on our list of timeless twosomes is tomatoes and basil. The beauty of this pairing goes beyond creating a perfect pasta sauce. In the garden, these two are a match made in heaven. Basil is said to improve the flavor and growth of tomato plants, while also repelling pests like flies and mosquitoes. It's like having your own personal bodyguard who also happens to be a fantastic chef. Next up, we have carrots and onions. This duo may sound like the start of a hearty soup recipe, but in the garden, they're all about protection and growth. The strong scent of onions is a natural deterrent for carrot flies, those pesky critters who love to nibble on your precious carrot crop. On the flip side, carrots deter onion flies and leek moths, making this a truly reciprocal relationship. They're the perfect example of friends who look out for each other. Now let's move on to a legendary trio, known as the Three Sisters: corn, beans, and squash. This combination has been used by Native Americans for centuries, and it's a brilliant example of companion planting at its finest. Here's how it works. The corn acts as a natural trellis for the beans to climb up, reaching for the sun. The beans, in return, fix nitrogen into the soil, providing essential nutrients that corn craves. Meanwhile, the squash plants spread their broad leaves over the ground, creating a living mulch that keeps the soil cool and moist, and also deters pests with its prickly stems. This trio proves that sometimes, three isn't a crowd, it's a powerhouse of cooperation, boosting each other's growth and warding off pests. But hold on a minute. If you're thinking, well, I don't grow corn, beans, or squash in my garden, don't worry. The principles of companion planting apply to a wide range of plants. For example, if you're growing roses, try pairing them with garlic to ward off aphids. Or if you're a fan of cabbage, team it up with dill to attract beneficial insects that will keep pests at bay. The key is to understand the needs of your plants and find companions that can help meet those needs. It's also worth noting that companion planting isn't just about pest control. It can also help to improve soil health, maximize space, and even enhance the flavor of your fruits and veggies. Plus, it's a great way to encourage biodiversity in your garden, creating a more balanced and sustainable ecosystem. Now, before you rush off to start pairing up your plants, keep in mind that not all plants make good companions. Some plants, like potatoes and carrots, can actually hinder each other's growth. Similarly, beans and onions aren't the best of friends either, so it's important to do your research before you start planting. These well-known pairings are just the tip of the iceberg. Next, we'll discover some surprising plant buddies. Just like us, plants can form alliances for mutual benefit. And just as we get by with a little help from our friends, so too can your garden thrive with the right combinations. So, whether you're a seasoned gardener looking to maximize your yield, or a beginner seeking natural ways to manage pests, companion planting offers a wealth of possibilities. So why not give it a try? Start experimenting with different plant combinations and see what works best in your own garden. After all, gardening is as much an art as it is a science, filled with discovery, creativity, and the satisfaction of seeing your plants thrive in harmony. Remember, in the world of plants, it's all about cooperation, not competition. So let's embrace the power of plant friendships and turn our gardens into thriving ecosystems, full of diversity, beauty, and abundance. Certain plant pairs are so iconic that they've become gardening folklore. Let's uncover some of these dynamic duos. Prepare to be surprised as we unveil some unexpected plant companionships. Now, if you thought the three sisters was a surprising trio, hold on to your gardening gloves, because we're about to introduce some companionships that are even more unexpected. Let's dive in. First up, we have marigolds. Yes, those vibrant orange and yellow flowers that you've probably seen in countless gardens. But did you know that marigolds are one of the most sociable plants out there? They're like the life of the party in your garden, making friends with just about any plant they meet. Why is this, you ask? Well, it's because marigolds have a superpower. They release a chemical into the soil that deters many common garden pests. This means that planting marigolds near your veggies can help protect them from unwanted visitors. Marigolds also attract beneficial insects, making them a fantastic addition to any garden. But remember, it's not just about the flowers. Marigolds' roots also play a significant role. They penetrate deep into the soil, helping to improve its structure and fertility. This makes them great companions for plants with shallower root systems. So, whether you're growing tomatoes, beans, or even potatoes, consider inviting marigolds to the party. Next, let's talk about nasturtiums and cucumbers. At first glance, this might seem like an odd pairing. After all, what could a flowering plant and a vegetable possibly have in common? Well, quite a lot, as it turns out. Nasturtiums, with their bright, trumpet-shaped flowers, are not just pretty faces. They're also extremely beneficial for cucumbers. That's because nasturtiums act as a trap crop for pests like aphids and cucumber beetles. These pests are drawn to nasturtiums and away from the cucumbers, keeping your precious produce safe. But the benefits don't stop there. Nasturtiums also attract beneficial insects like bees and butterflies, which can help pollinate your cucumber flowers. And as an added bonus, both nasturtium flowers and cucumber fruits are edible, making this pairing not just good for your garden, but also for your plate. Who knew marigolds were so sociable? But companion planting isn't all about perfect pairings. It's also about understanding the relationships between different plants and how they can support each other. And sometimes, the most surprising combinations can turn out to be the most successful. So, the next time you're planning your garden, don't be afraid to think outside the box. You might be surprised at the companionships you discover. Ready to take your companion planting to the next level? Here are some advanced tips to keep in mind. Firstly, let's talk about root systems. Just as we humans need our personal space, plants also need their room to grow. The secret here lies beneath the soil, in the intricate network of roots. Some plants have deep roots that mine the subsoil for nutrients, while others have shallow roots that take nutrients from the topsoil. Pairing plants with different root depths can help maximize the use of soil nutrients and space. So the next time you're planting your garden, remember to dig a little deeper. Moving on, it's crucial to consider plant height and sun requirements. Larger, taller plants can provide much-needed shade for smaller, sun-sensitive plants. As a rule of thumb, always plant your taller plants on the north side of your garden so they don't cast a shadow on your smaller plants. But remember, not all plants are created equal. Some like it hot, while others prefer a little shade. So, understanding your plant's sun requirements is key to a successful companion planting arrangement. Now, on to the power of flowers. Yes, they're beautiful, and yes, they add that pop of color to your garden. But did you know that they are also secret weapons in the world of companion planting? Flowers, especially those with a strong scent, can attract beneficial insects to your garden. These insects, like ladybugs and bees, can help with pest control and pollination. Some flowers, like marigolds, can even deter harmful pests. So the next time you're planting your garden, don't forget to stop and plant the roses, or marigolds, or sunflowers. You get the idea? But here's the kicker. All these tips wouldn't be as effective if you don't remember this one important thing. Balance. Nature thrives on balance. Too much of one plant can lead to an overgrowth of certain pests, while too little can mean you're not making the most of your space. So, always strive for a balanced garden. It's not just about pairing the right plants together, it's about creating a harmonious ecosystem where every plant plays a part. With these tips, you're well on your way to becoming a companion planting pro. But how do you start? Embarking on your companion planting journey might seem daunting. Here's how to take the first steps. First off, start small. There's no need to transform your entire garden overnight. Choose a few plants that you're familiar with and research their preferred companions. Perhaps start with the classic pairing of tomatoes and basil, or the three sisters, corn, beans, and squash. By beginning with a manageable patch, you'll be able to observe the interactions and adjust as necessary. Next, keep a garden diary. This might sound like extra work, but trust us, it's worth it. Note down when you plant, how the plants are growing, and any changes you observe. This will help you keep track of what's working and what's not. And don't forget to jot down the weather conditions too. Over time, this diary will become an invaluable resource, providing insights into how different plant companions react under various conditions. Most importantly, don't be afraid to experiment and have fun. Gardening is as much an art as it is a science. Try different plant companions, play around with plant arrangements, and see what works best for your garden. Remember, every garden is unique, and what works for your neighbor might not work for you. So don't be disheartened if your initial attempts don't go as planned. Instead, view each misstep as an opportunity to learn and grow, and of course, enjoy the process. There's something incredibly satisfying about watching your garden thrive as a result of your efforts. Not to mention the joy of harvesting your own fresh produce, enhanced by the power of companion planting. And there you have it. You're ready to dive into the world of companion planting and unlock the full potential of your garden. The journey might seem long, but with patience, observation, and a willingness to learn, you'll soon see the fruits of your labor, literally and figuratively. So, what are you waiting for? Let's get planting.